sailors, and welcome to your next Sail Smart video. This week we're talking about what to wear when we go sailing. Now, sailing is an extreme sport and the environment can lead us into a false sense of security. A lovely warm summer's day, what could go wrong? Get your jeans on, get your t-shirt on and let's go sailing. Well, hold your horses because there's a couple of things we might need to wear to stay warm and to stay safe. So, listen up. Here we go on what I would wear when I go sailing. So, number one on my list that I always wear when I'm afloat, it's a buoyancy aid. Buoyancy aids have flotation in them, so that if you go in the water, you don't have to swim, it will make you float. And that's a good thing when we're in water. This particular buoyancy aid is technically a kayaking buoyancy aid, and I know that because there are these clips on top. For sailing, these might get caught in ropes or on the boom. So maybe I would have a slightly different one for my first time sailing. The good news is, if you're sailing at a recognised training centre, they will have a buoyancy aid you can borrow. If it's a club, they'll probably have some you could borrow, but it might be worth checking with the club before you turn up. Something that I wouldn't use for dinghy sailing is a life jacket. A buoyancy aid and a life jacket. Now, a buoyancy aid, we've got all this buoyancy and it goes all around the wearer. A life jacket would have its buoyancy largely around the back and the front. So the back of my shoulders and the front. Let's just distinguish the difference between a life jacket and a buoyancy aid because we might not know which one to wear. Firstly, we need to know what they do. And a life jacket is going to make you float in the water so that you can breathe without any help from you. A buoyancy aid is pretty much what it says on the tin. It aids you floating, but doesn't necessarily do all the work for you. So, keep your life jacket for yachting and powerboating and your buoyancy aid for dinghy sailing. The next thing that I would have on my kit list is some footwear. You have to wear something on your feet. Largely when we're sailing it's okay, but if we ever have to get out of the boat, we don't know what's under the water. Could be a stony beach, a stone on the slipway, even sand has got things underneath the sand that could harm our feet. So it's vital that you wear something on your feet. Even for windsurfers, it is super cool to go barefoot. But when you're learning, I would definitely wear something on your feet to start with. Some people will sail in wellies, but for dinghy sailing, that's not really practical. It's quite often that we're going to go in the water above where the welly comes up to. The welly is going to fill up with water and it's not going to be any good. The next thing that I see a lot of people wear is these little plimsolls. And really, there isn't much to this thing. It's really thin and flimsy and isn't providing that much support for your foot or protection. The other thing is, if you sail like me where it's muddy, you step in the mud and this is going to get stuck. So I would avoid these as well. Most people will wear a sailing boot. So this is a little bit more substantial. It's going to protect my feet and I can fasten it nice and easy so it stays on. It's also made of neoprene and we'll come on to that a bit later, but it will keep my foot a little bit warm. Just in case I stub my toe, it's fully enclosed. So these are a pretty safe bet, but it's something you've got to go out and buy. I think you've got the best solution at home already. The humble old trainer. This is undoubtedly the best thing you can wear for your first time sailing. A trainer is so much more rigid, hard, it's going to last forever, you've got really good grip, and if it gets wet, it doesn't matter. It's your old trainers. Bring them home, rinse them out with fresh water, leave them to dry and they'll be ready again for next time you go sailing. Some of the top coaches I work with will wear old trainers because they're so much more robust. So my number one vote is the old trainer. Okay, so now we're on to number three and it's the wetsuit. Now, wetsuits are made of neoprene, which is this tough black, it's not really very stretchy material. It's quite thick, it's going to be quite restricting neoprene. Now, the reason we put up with this is because it keeps us warm. The neoprene will soak in a little bit of water and it will hold on to that water. Your body heats up the water and that gives you a little bit of protection from the coldness of the elements. That in turn will overall keep you a little bit warmer whilst you're sailing. Wetsuits come in all different shapes and sizes. So this one's got long sleeves and it's got long legs. Some wetsuits will come in 2 pieces. Some wetsuits will have short arms and short legs, and most people call these a shorty. It'll look like this. Hey! But for today, I'm going to go for a long john wetsuit. Now what that means is it's got long legs, but it's got no arms. Why? Because it's actually quite a nice day. I'm probably going to get in the water, and the water still is chilly, so I'm going to protect my legs, but my arms, they're probably going to be moving around quite a lot, and the sun will warm me up if I do get wet. Now, unfortunately, there probably isn't something in your house similar to a wetsuit. So, best bet is to borrow one from where you're going to go sailing. And most centres that I know will have wetsuits you can borrow. If you feel like you desperately want to buy one, then that's okay. Remember that you're probably going to grow out of it, and I would advise not spending so much money. Some of the top wetsuits nowadays can go for hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and you don't need that. What we need is a nice, simple wetsuit that we can wear close to our body and keep us warm. Because we wear it close to our body, and it's our body touching the neoprene that makes it work, it's gonna have to be a little bit tight. Shouldn't restrict you, but it's gonna have to be tight. When I was learning to sail, my choice was a shorty, and that served me fine for years and years. Shorty wetsuit, when it was a bit colder, I wore more stuff. When it was a bit warmer, I wore my shorty. Worked really well. Next, we're gonna need something to wear over our wetsuit on top, like a cag or a jacket or something like that. It's important that this item is windproof. Now, windproof means that when wind hits you, it doesn't make you feel more cold. And this is called wind chill. And sometimes it can be reasonably warm indoors, but outside in the wind chill, it can be very nippy. And that's what can make you cold on the water. Anything that's waterproof will be windproof. And to be honest, don't worry about it being too waterproof, because it's gonna go in here, it's gonna go down your sleeve, you're gonna get a little bit of water in anyway. So windproof is the key. And now some places will have a jacket that you can wear, but this is another thing you've already got at home. All you need is your old raincoat. This is an old raincoat I've had for years. It's not really very waterproof anymore, but it is still windproof. And all I need to do is throw this over my wetsuit and I'm ready to go. Next on my list is something if it's a bit of a colder day. So we're looking at an extra warm layer. You can get some really technical extra layers that have some clever, exciting words in them, but if I'm honest, I don't really understand what they mean. So what you need is an old fleece that you've got at home. You can wear it on the water. Don't worry if it gets wet, because you can wash it off when you get home, dry it, and it'll be good as new. The trick is not to have a jumper or a hoodie. They're made of cotton, which is okay, but a fleece will keep you warm even when it's wet. Last, but by no means least on my list of things that I always have with me to go on the water is a hat. Now, if it's a chilly day, we're gonna want a woolly hat. Most of the heat is lost out of your head from your body. So if you're feeling cold, it's probably because you're not wearing a woolly hat. And you'd be so shocked and surprised at how often one woolly hat can save the day. Now, if it's not chilly, it's probably going to be sunny. And in that case, you'll need a sun cap. Keeping the sun off of your face is vital to enjoying the water and not getting dehydrated. Other things that I might keep in my sailing bag. A water bottle. This is one I can take on the water, or I can have it in my kit bag, but having some water to hand can often be a good way of keeping fresh and alert while you're trying to learn something about sailing. Sun cream. You've always got to wear sun cream. Even on a day that isn't that sunny, the sun can pierce through the cloud. And when you're on the water, you get double as much sun because it comes straight from the sun and it reflects off the water and into you. So a lot of people get sunburnt on the water. Make sure you wear your sun cream. If you're a bit more pro, 2 other things might be a watch and some tape. I use tape because actually one of my old boots comes undone, so I tape it up. A watch because I might want to start a race, and it's just good to know what time it is. Once you're a little bit more pro at sailing, your hands might start to get a little bit raw because of the rope, and some people have a set of sailing gloves. you don't get as good a feel of the rope and the boat, but it does protect your hands a little bit. You might want to wear some sunglasses. Keep the glare off, and sometimes it can even keep a bit of the splash out. Looking good. Obviously, you'll need a towel for when you come off the water. And why are you going to put all of this sailing kit in? You could go out and you could buy a really fancy bag with rollers and dry bits and wet bits to keep all your different bits of kit in, a load of pockets, and it'd be really cool and amazing. And you could get someone and they called Jeeves, and he can pull it along behind you, and he can put it on the bench, and it'd be amazing. But it'd probably cost quite a lot of money. What do I put all of my sailing kit in? An IKEA bag. Why? Because it's big, it's cheap, got nice big handles for me to hold it with. Brilliant. So now it's time for me to get dressed, ready to go sailing. Come with me. So let's see what's in the bag and what I'm going to put on first. Right, here we are team. I'm wearing my wetsuit, and as I mentioned, I've gone for a long john wetsuit, and I'm wearing a rash vest, but you can wear a thin t-shirt or nothing, that's fine. And I've got my swimming costume on under this, so just need to put my arm throughs here, and this one through here. There we go, and as you can see, fits me nice and tight, so I'm ready to go sailing. Next up, it's my trainers. Those old trainers that we talked about, nice, sturdy, gonna protect my feet. It's a warm day. I don't need to worry about my feet getting cold. I'm gonna have a great time. What's next in the bag? Oh, it's that old rain jacket I talked about. It is a bit windy today. Obviously, I'm in my back garden right now, but this is gonna keep all of that wind from making me feel the winds chill, and I'm gonna stay warm whilst I'm sailing. Let's have a look at what's next in the bag. It's my buoyancy aid. Goes on last because it's got all these lovely bits to grab and straps and shoulder bits in case someone needs to help me into a boat or out of the water or something like that. Most important part of my sailing gear, and I'm ready. But I wonder if there's anything else left in the bag. It's my sun hat and my sunglasses. Want to keep the sun off of my face, obviously. It's a boiling hot day, great day to go sailing. Keep the sun out my eyes with my sunglasses. Good job, guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you soon for another Sail Smart video. All the best.